Jimmy from Superpath here today talking about a content lead role, a pretty good one too. Thanuka, thank you so much for coming to chat about it. You're the CEO of Daydream. Before we dive into some specifics about the role, could you just tell us about Daydream? Who and what is Daydream and who is the customer?
Yeah, so Daydream essentially automates programmatic SEO from end to end. So if you've ever seen companies like Zapier or Canva, where when you search something like, how to integrate SaaS A and SaaS B, Zapier shows up with a custom generated page exactly for that query, like Shopify and Klaviyo integration. Or with Canva, when you search template for wedding invitation or greeting card, Canva shows up with a custom page. So that playbook of doing SEO at scale automatically is called programmatic SEO. And we've essentially productized that into a SaaS platform that we sell to heads of growth.
I think there's probably a programmatic content play out there for basically every SaaS company. It's just kind of a matter of like figuring out what it is. Um, but it sounds like an amazing product. So you're relatively early on, right? Hiring a content lead. Is this the first content hire, or will this person be taking over an existing content program?
This would be the first content hire. The startup itself is about 6 or 7 months old. We raised a pre-seed and have some great companies like Notion, Product Hunt, Tome, Pilot that are already early users of or early customers of Daydream. And yeah, we want this person to really lay the foundation for a great content program and just execute from there.
Cool, cool. So I imagine there's probably a heavy strategy component in addition to some high level individual contributor type stuff this person will do.
Right, exactly. So a lot of this role will be conceptualizing what the content strategy should be, and then also actually writing it. And I think there's a lot of opportunity because the space we're writing in is really the intersection of search, SEO, and AI. And obviously, search is going through the biggest period of change in a generation. And there's a lot of interesting things to produce there, whether it's case studies of companies that have done programmatic SEO really well, interviewing our internal customers, or writing content on the future of search. And we also have a really wide network to pulse from. So, the author product at SEO is an investor, the heads of growth at Notion and formerly Webflow as well are on our cap table. So we have a lot of great
Cool.
people, I think, that we can leverage as well.
So it sounds like I think what I'm hearing is that the content you're doing is not just kind of hammering out an SEO playbook. There needs to be some kind of authentic thought leadership stuff, like really exposing the subject matter expertise of the people who work at the company, kind of helping people see like what the future of search and SEO looks like in this kind of new AI fueled world.
Exactly. So I think, yeah, there is a lot of room. So if you look at SEO and a lot of the content that's available on the internet, we found it's not usually very analytical, a little bit short-sighted, and a lot of emphasis on short-term practices like buying backlinks, and there's other things like that. What we really want to evangelize is a more product-led approach to SEO that has a much longer-term view and aligns with and can ride a lot of the macro changes that are coming to SEO over the course of the next couple of years.
Cool. Sounds really cool. Does the person who becomes your new content lead, do they have a search background, or is there something else you might be looking for on their LinkedIn profile or resume that would kind of give them the right experience to thrive in this role?
So I think first and foremost, the things we look for is, flexibility and the willingness to learn, a baseline of just really good writing in general. Like I think a lot of skills you can teach, but just the fundamentals of writing great, smooth flowing writing is a harder one. So someone with a background that already has good fundamentals. Uh, some experience with SEO, I think, is helpful. For example, using tools like Ahrefs and SEMrush and knowing your way around those. That's really important because when we do these breakdowns of a company's SEO strategy, for example, um, you have to use those tools to really understand the story behind how a company built its organic growth engine. So it's not mandatory, but I would say it's a pretty important piece of the job.
Got it. Got it. Makes sense. Who else at Daydream will the content lead be working with on a regular basis?
Yeah, so mostly myself. I would want to work with this person on a really one-to-one basis because I really think this is one of the best acquisition channels for us actually as well. Like we just were announcing our pre-seed, just announcing in a 500 word blog post that we had raised a pre-seed, we got 1,000 inbound leads.
Oh,
And so you
wow.
think, Yeah. So you think, well, if we actually produce like the good stuff, not just our fundraising announcement, what could happen? And then we also have two growth leads that this person will likely work with who are really at the edge of working with customers on programmatic SEO, sharing their learnings, sharing what they're seeing. But a lot of it would be working with me and also actually my chief of staff, Wesley, who is like the company generalist, essentially.
Nice.
So it'll be mostly us two, plus potentially the growth leads.
Okay, cool. And is there going to be an opportunity to dog food the product? Like, will Daydream have its own
Of course.
programmatic SEO play?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, this is something we've been looking at. There's a lot of interesting possibilities there. Yeah, I won't say too much more about that because there's something under wraps there, but the short answer is yes.
Cool, cool. You know, honestly, to me, this sounds like an amazing role for someone who wants potentially like more ownership of a content program to kind of build their own vision. Like for someone maybe who's been working within a larger company, kind of working underneath a content lead, but that has like great raw talent could be a great fit. Additionally, someone who does have a lot of experience in this world, a lot of strong opinions, and is a really great writer. It sounds like they also could potentially be a good fit. I would suggest to anyone listening who's thinking of applying, regardless of what background you come from, choose your writing samples very carefully. And I think, and tell me if you disagree with Anuga, but I think a great writing sample would be one that captures an original idea. You know, your own thinking, not just reporting on what someone else said or, doing the SEO Mad Libs thing where you just kind of fill in the keywords here and there, but really like showcasing your own thinking, not just writing.
Yeah, I think that's very well said. I mean, we've had candidates submit something like summarizing an existing piece of document, like technical documentation, things like that. And that shows some level of analytical rigor. But what I really want to see is, the person's ability to conceptualize ideas that they're interested in and really communicate those in a skillful way. So I think you're dead on there.
Cool, cool. And we should at least just briefly talk about the hybrid office. So you are based in San Francisco and are looking for someone who will be in the office 2 or 3 days a week. Is that right?
Yeah, we're so Monday and Friday are work from home days. So if you want to, you're more than welcome in the office, but you're also more than welcome to stay at home. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we ask everyone to be in the office. So we're doing hybrid. Yep.
Cool. No, I think it's exciting. I think I honestly I wouldn't be surprised if plenty of folks out there are a little sick of working from home, like me, and would relish the chance to like be in the same room as their peers, and just kind of feel the energy of like building this young company into something great. Um, Anything I should have asked you about this role that I didn't, or kind of a last sales pitch for folks to apply?
I mean, I think the main thing that I see is this is such an important part of the company that, in some companies, the content marketing piece might come up as this would be something good to do. In our company, this is something we have to do. It's so clear that people are really interested in this space and our positioning and what we want to do. The role is a really important one in the company, and accordingly with that, I think will come a lot of opportunities to grow and really make a very significant impact on the company. So I'm super excited to see who we end up, partnering with on this. And yeah, thank you for your time in just sharing the opportunity as well.
Yeah, no, thank you. Seriously, it's a great service to our community and to candidates to get to meet you and learn a little bit more about the role. So thank you. And to folks listening, if you're going to apply, but you want some encouragement, a kick in the butt, some feedback on a writing sample, shoot me a DM in the Slack group. I'll be happy to help you out. Danuka, thanks so much for taking the time and hope we can send some good folks your way.
Awesome. Thanks, Jimmy.